Hey, caregiver. This next part of the interview with Charlotte is all about you. We are going to dive deep in caring for the caregiver. So, without further ado, enjoy this conversation. Think Sarah is a community and a support network for people who care for others, whether they are loved ones, clients, or residents. Welcome to Think Sarah's Meet in the Middle. Well, we've been talking with beautiful Charlotte Plotsky about a lot of great things in regards to your past.
Yes.
And one of the most important things, and I feel one of the least taken care of things, is the caregiver taking care of themselves.
For sure.
And so I am going to dive into that with you. So this is probably by far the hardest thing for a caregiver to do, is to like carve time out and go, no, this is for me. Do you even know the word no?
No.
No.
That was it. That's the only way I know that.
No, you got to say no.
Yeah.
No to no. So what do you do? Like, truly, what do you do when you have those down moments where you can pamper yourself?
I've learned to do my own nails.
Ditto.
So that's like some me time
Yes.
that I do. Shout out to COVID for me learning that.
Ditto.
So sometimes I just find a corner in my basement and I'll just do my nails, put some music on. Sometimes I just want to fry my brain and I just surf social media because I need to lose a few brain cells just to know that I can't just be on it all the time.
Right.
Like, as far as life goes, like, I need to just, however that is, just detach a little bit. Again, like I spoke on earlier, I like to cook. I like to, do some interior design, decorating. And then sometimes I will just lay in the middle of my bed and turn the lights off and just lay there.
Do a little starfish. I'm just going to lay there.
And grab that pillow sometimes and just scream in it to release that energy. And it feels good.
And it's a good way to get rid of that, because sometimes it's inside of you.
Yes.
And the only way is to get it physically out. Physically out. How do you find time to ground yourself? Because you said in the beginning that there were times you'd work full time, you come home and work full time with your family member, and then you just never sleep and go back and do it again.
Yeah.
How do you find time to ground yourself in those crazy moments?
Even if it's just kind of driving from work to home, I usually when I do that, I just turn the music off and I just do some deep breathing and just drive. There's been plenty of times I've driven up and down Jefferson just to look at the water, hear the water.
And for those unaware, Jefferson is a road that runs along Lake St. Clair. So there's portions where there's, like boating communities and things. It's just gorgeous. You can just forget about yourself for a minute.
And there's been times I've done that, or I'll literally just drive until I feel like turning around, just to release some of, just to find my own space away from all the noise, away from all the wants and needs. That's kind of, because as much as I love what I do, to keep me sane and enjoying still doing that, I have to find my outlets.
Right.
So that's kind of what works for me.
That's awesome.
So nothing big and exciting, but
no, they're healthy though. They're healthy.
Take a nice warm bath. If you don't have somebody trying to, if you don't have
the
small
door
kids
opens.
trying to get the door open, like, hey mom, what are you doing in there? Luckily my kids are a little bit older, so I'm just like, use the other bathroom. But try to do that if you can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, our bathroom doesn't have a lock and we have one in the house.
Right.
So I'm in the bathtub and they're going to the bathroom. It's lovely. So how do you, or how can a caregiver ask for help?
Again, utilize your resources. If you need to go online, just, usually if you type in anything, something's going to come up. Agencies near me, or to help with caregiver, and different things will come up. There's different facilities, there's different things, utilize churches or community centers, things like that. Ask the doctors. Sometimes they have lists at their offices of different options that you can use to be a caregiver to help do respite. If you can find a company that does respite where they'll come in and give you that time away, and be with your family member, because again, it is a lot and we have a lot going on. So you have to find the time for you so you don't end up mentally or physically sick yourself, from taking on, because stress is a killer.
Yeah.
So you definitely, have to keep your mind and your body right.
Yeah. And I'm a big proponent. If you're not good to yourself, you're not good for anybody.
Correct.
So, and I know that I just learned recently that certain hospice organizations, if they're coming to your home to care for your loved one, you earn certain days in a nursing home for respite. So your loved one could go to the nursing home and you could get out of town for a minute. You could stay home and just veg for a couple days.
Yes.
Whatever it is you need. So ask your agency, even home health care, and seeing if they have some kind of setup where you can maybe have your loved one go to a nursing home for
even
short
a weekend.
stay, a weekend.
I've had plenty of clients that have done that. Families, they might have wanted to celebrate an anniversary or a birthday, a milestone birthday, and they're like, let's just put mom or dad or grandma in there for the weekend, just so we can get a break.
Yeah.
Get the house clean, just take that bath.
Right.
That we don't normally have time to take for an hour.
Right. And it refills your coffers, like you said. It puts that back into where you have that re-energizing, I can do this again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. How can someone who is caring for a loved one, find help that they need for a break? So we just talked about that. We answer our own question. Okay, this is human people asking questions and answering. Do you give yourself rewards for working hard? Something to kind of look forward to now, like a trip?
Again, I do my nails.
Yeah.
That's kind of my relaxing thing too, but I like to buy stuff for my nails, all the little sparkles and things. That's kind of my thing.
Yes.
A little vain, but
No, not at all. It's your thing. It's your thing.
I sometimes Amazon is my biggest thing. I love Amazon, so sometimes I'll go on there and see what I can buy me just to you did good, treat yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Things like that. I don't necessarily do the vacations just because I'm like, nope, too many people rely on me and I don't have time to leave and go anywhere because I don't want to go too far. So that is something I'm working on myself to where I'll feel a little more comfortable if I do make that decision. Because right now I won't allow myself to do that portion of it. So, I'm a work in progress.
Well, even for you and for anybody watching, if you look at a map, put a pin where you live and go, all right, I'm not going to go any more than 2 hours away.
Right.
So I can get home for an emergency situation. Yes. But I can, in Michigan where we're at, you can go 2 hours and be in the woods.
Oh, for sure.
And feel like you're completely separated from the world. You can go from Detroit and be up in the top of the thumb in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and that's a whole new world up
different
there.
world. Yeah, it's a small town feel. Everybody knows everybody. So, maybe finding that I'm comfortable X, Y, Z, if I want to go an hour, go to Frankenmuth, that's walking into Little Bavaria. I know.
Yes.
I know. It's my little vacation. It's an hour and 45 minutes from our home. We are Midwesterners. We mark distance by time.
Exactly.
And not by miles. But it's half hour and 45 minutes from home, and it's you enter
amazing.
into a little Bavaria.
A whole nother world up
there. It is. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. How can a caregiver learn to say the word no?
Sometimes I'm still trying to learn that myself.
So what advice would you give you?
For that, I don't necessarily say no, but I give options and say, hey, I'm not going to tell you no, I'm just going to tell you not right now. So, I assist my aunt, I assist my uncle, and they know they have to kind of work around my schedule as far as certain things go, because I have a full-time job, I have a family at home, so I can't just go at the drop of a dime if they want to go to the store. I'm not going to leave you without food, but also you might have to wait till tomorrow. So I'm not necessarily saying no, I'm just saying not right now, and just trying to find something that fits better for all of us. But don't be afraid to say no, because, you have a lot on your plate. So if you have to say no, then you have to say no, because you, again, mentally and physically, you don't want to overdo yourself.
No. So setting boundaries is a really healthy thing.
For sure.
And then saying no to someone, like when you were working with your mom and you knew she could accomplish something, you saying, no, I'm not going to do that for your mom. You can do that on your own.
Yes.
That is a healthy way to, A, not have to do everything.
Right.
And B, encourage your loved one to keep pushing their own boundaries or actually meeting their boundaries.
Right.
Because
they
you
have
need
to
them
still
to be healthy.
independent.
Exactly.
Yes.
You need them to be as healthy as possible for as long as possible. That's good. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. I like that. What kind of rules should a caregiver make for their own life to carve out those moments of self-preservation?
Make sure, you set your time for you and you stick with it.
Okay.
Definitely, again, whether it's that long drive, whether it's that bath, whether it's that screaming into the pillow, if you need to schedule that on your phone or your tablet or whatever devices you use to put in there when you have your million alarms for work and for the kids' sports and everything else, set it in there. 5 p.m. scream into the pillow. Do it. And don't be like, oh, I'll do it later. No, just do it. Just make sure, if you're going to set boundaries for family members, you have to set boundaries for you too and stick with them as well. So, tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Right. Do you pick a day a week? Do you like, okay, every Friday is my day. Don't call me. Don't text me unless there's an emergency.
No. So my work schedule kind of fluctuates every other week. So I know on certain weeks I have certain days off. So usually on one of those days, I'm just like, this is the day I'm not doing anything. If a family member calls and says, hey, can we go to no, not tomorrow, but we can go the next day.
Right.
And things like that. Like I do, because sometimes I just want one day to not have to get up with that alarm, or for somebody needing something. Even if it's later in the day, fine, but just give me like that hour.
Let me have my shower and coffee,
Let me have my
please.
time. Let me keep my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Right.
And just spend that hour in the shower if I need to, and go from there.
Exactly. Perfect. How important is prayer and meditation for a caregiver?
I think it definitely helps for sure. Depending on what your background is, prayer looks like a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But keeping that close to you, I'm a very spiritual person, but I do pray every day. Me and God have a relationship up there that he probably looks down on me like, my child, what am I going to do with you?
I have my screaming matches too.
Right. But I feel like it helps with the caregiving. It helps keep that sane path. When you're dealing with all these things that you're dealing with, and you just have to find sometimes that place to go to and find that faith and that strength from somewhere else,
because it's not coming from in here.
Yes,
it's got to come from out there.
Yeah.
I get it. And like even through meditation, you can meditate while driving. You just have to keep your eyes open.
Exactly.
Yes. It's just that deep breathing and rhythmic breathing. And
and like I said, I'll do that sometimes coming home from work.
Yeah.
Because I work a little bit a ways from where I live, so it takes me some time to get home. So, I'll turn the radio off in the car and I'll just find my zone and just stare at the road and just go. Yeah. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm home, but I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
And just kind of do my breathing exercises. And I do them every night before I go to sleep as well, because I feel like it calms me down. And does it work? I don't know, maybe. But for me, I feel like it's something that, I just do on a daily basis. So you just have to find things to work for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Do you have a friend that you can text or chat with to kind of offlet? Like, just you guys just chat and you just kind of like, okay, you will not believe what happened today.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The place that I'm at now, my assistant manager, we consistently send memes to each other
Mm-hmm. I
about
love it.
different things, but they're so relatable to like the job and the experiences. Or we'll, if I'm off or if she's off, we'll just text each other like, hey, guess what happened, well, guess what's going on. So we kind of like lean on each other for that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And which helps because we get along very well. We understand each other. We work well together.
Right.
So it just kind of, it's like a full circle moment for us.
Yeah, and is it important that your venting person be a medical person to understand it?
Does it help? Probably, because they're not going to understand why,
Why the sick sense of
Grandma
humor?
Jane, right? Exactly. Because I'm the type of person I can watch brain surgery and eat dinner at the same
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand how that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it does help because I think it's relatable,
Yeah.
but not necessarily, because everybody has some sort of stress or something to deal with at work.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it can be the bonding moment,
Mm-hmm.
even though, it might help if they're more familiar with your side of things.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of touched on this before, but do you feel guilty when you're doing something for you and you've got somebody else taking care of your loved one
All
at
the
home,
time.
and you could be doing something, you could be doing that and better?
I do, because even like my sister tells me all the time, she's like, because she lives like 3 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, if I came down there to help out, they wouldn't want me anyway. They'd only want you. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish somebody else would help. And then I'm like, no, because they're not going to do like I do. So it's a struggle within myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely is a struggle within myself because I'm like, I wish I had help with them. But then at the other time, I'm just like, no, because I know
Mm-hmm.
the care I give and how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely
Because your sister's going to love him just as fierce,
for sure.
but
For sure.
she's not going to have that rapport that you've built
Yes.
for years with these
Yes.
people.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. How important is it to give yourself breaks, especially if your loved one is living with you?
Very important. Again, you mentally and physically have to give those breaks to yourself so you don't run your body down. So you're not having a mental breakdown. Mental health is real. We don't talk enough about it. Um, and I feel like, when something does happen, we see something on the news because somebody had a mental breakdown and we're like, oh, well, they're just crazy. You don't know what's behind that.
No.
There's probably something that they couldn't talk to somebody, they didn't have the resources, or we don't have enough mental health resources now. So it is important to give yourself that time, even if it's 5 minutes. Again, set it on your phone, set it on your watch, for that time to pop up so you can scream, shout, do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like you said, in the nursing field, be kind to your fellow nurses, because you
Yes.
don't know what is happening to them at
Right.
home,
Right.
and they're coming into work and acting like everything's okay, but inside they're crumbling. So to
Exactly.
have that thought process of, I'm gonna hold space for you.
Yeah, and it's easy to say, well, leave your problems at the door
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you go into work. It's very easy to say that. It's not always necessarily easy to do that. And so, as we see with the people that we take care of, sometimes they're mean, or they cuss at us, or they hit us, or they do things because they're mentally in a space where we're not understanding them. Are some of them just like that? Yeah. But for me personally, I feel like majority are like that because there's something else going on.
Right.
And we just need to figure out the reason behind it. And again, we're a team in these places. We're here to take care of these people. There's no reason we shouldn't be working together for these clients.
Yep, exactly. And so what advice would you give to others in regards to self-care?
Um,
Like if somebody's struggling right now, watching this, looking for help.
Go scream in that pillow.
Mm-hmm. Exercise.
Leave right now. Scream in that pillow. Exercise. Even if you feel like you need to treat yourself to, that frozen yogurt or, whatever it is. Like, just keep yourself together, keep your mind strong, keep your body strong. There's an influencer that I follow. She's just like a home influencer. She says, drink your water, mind your business.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
So, it's a little harder when you're a caregiver to mind your business because that is your business, know, but you just have to find that even if it's 5 minutes a week, if you can do 5 minutes a day, great. Yeah. Does that always happen? No. But even if it's 5 minutes a week, 10 minutes, just put your time in to make sure you get that time for you, for sure.
Yeah. Get to work just a few minutes early and just sit in the car.
Sit in the car. I do it. I come home from work and I'll pull in the driveway and I'll just sit there sometimes with my music off and just doing my breathing exercises, because now I know sometimes when I walk in the house, there might be a whole nother world that I'm stepping into that I needed that time for. Right. So, and then I do it on my way to work in the morning, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm stepping into today. So let me get my deep breathing on and just find my zone and go from there.
Yeah. And I remember what I had forgotten. When you're working in long-term care and people are actually living in a space that you're working in, it's hard sometimes to separate what's happening at home, because you're constantly reminded of home while you're there. Right. And so, in regards to giving your grace to your coworkers, just seeing that, life can be tough. Yes. And we don't always know what's happening behind closed doors. Right. But exercising, getting yourself out, exerting yourself, screaming is a great thing. Yes. Hollering, that's my relationship with God sometimes in the car. Yeah. I calm down eventually. But he just shakes his head. Yes. You get that. Yeah. So what about self-care do you feel we didn't talk about just now? Is there anything that you think that needs to be added to our conversation?
Let's see. We've talked about the screaming, the yelling, the, taking time for us. If you have to put your loved one in respite to have those couple days just to lay on the bed and binge watch a show, don't feel guilty about it. Right. Like, do that, because they know you're still there. You're still the caregiver. You're still going to love them. But yeah, just find a way, as hard as it is, because some days my day starts at 5 a.m. and doesn't end until 10, 11 o'clock. Yeah. But I'm going to find something in there, that extra 10 minutes in the shower.
Right. And finding that, though, is so important, because what is the outcome if you don't? It's anger and resentment, and that will come out and come across to your loved one. And we don't ever want to put our loved one who is in need in a position where they're going to be the recipient of anger. Yeah. And then they'll feel like they're a burden, and then they're going to start having all these thoughts of, well, it'd be better if I wasn't here. Then you wouldn't have to take care of me. My mom said that a few times, just because she felt like she wasn't herself. She couldn't do a lot of things. So she was just like, just let me die. I'd rather that way you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like, nobody's worried about, we don't care. This is why we're here. Yeah. So and sometimes our body language says it, like we have to just be mindful of our body language, because even though we're not saying things with our words or we're not expressing it, sometimes our body language or our aura, they can feel that. Yeah. So they can feel like, oh, I'm being a burden today. Yeah. And that's happened with me. Like with my uncle, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm, being a pain today. And I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah. I didn't, in my mind was one thing, but he just could see my body language and he felt like he was being a burden. And I just told him, I'm like, no, I apologize, I have my own stuff. Right. That I didn't separate. Yeah. So you have to find that line of just separating as well. And then, but I acknowledged that and, changed it. Wow.
So
how hard. That's hard. Yeah. But it's, just taking care of yourself, finding those moments, doing your nails. Changing your room around. I'm going to move the bed from this room way over there.
And I'll probably move it back tomorrow, but that's okay.
I might stub my toe now, but that's all right. It's different. It's changed. Well, I am in awe of you as always. And I'm so grateful for you and your time.
Thank you. It was a
And
pleasure to be here to help with this.
of course, of course. And we want her back, so ask questions.
Yeah.
So the next video is going to be a video of lots of questions
Okay.
that are about you, and they're fun.
Uh-oh.
They're fun, and there's only like 10, so it's
Okay.
not huge. But they're kind of rapid fire, and they're a lot of fun. So look for that. That'll be coming in
Stick
next
around.
week. So
All right.
thank you
Exciting.
again.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
What a way to end an interview with such an amazing woman. I am so grateful that Charlotte took time out of her day to come and sit and talk with us and share with us her knowledge. Now, again, it's just the beginning. So if you want to know more about Charlotte, by all means, put questions down below or topics you want to hear her talk about. And take care of yourself, because we need you guys. Caregivers run this earth, and we are so thankful for you. So, until the next part of Charlotte's interview, which is all about fun. Blessings.